Texas has the number one scoring defense, the number one total defense, an amazing run defense, and one of the most suffocating pass defenses in the country. Was all of that a fluke? Carson Beck is going to put it to the test Saturday night. Let's talk about it next. Hey everybody, Brian Davis covering the Texas Longhorns for A to Z Sports. And you know, halfway through the season, the Texas defensive numbers have been just they're out of sight, out of mind. They're incredible. I am blown away. I am at a loss for what to say about the Longhorns having the number one ranked scoring defense. They've only allowed 3 touchdowns all year. The number one ranked total defense. They are number 2 in pass defense and number 23 in run defense. Now, you say, well, that sounds pretty good. Texas is the number one team in the country. That's pretty good. Listen, just 3+ years ago in 2021, Texas was giving up 31 points a game, the 3rd worst total in school history. That was on Steve Sarkisian. Fast forward to today, number 1 in the country. That's pretty impressive. But then when you get to really breaking it down, who have they really played? Well, when you really dig into it, you know, not a lot of great quarterbacks out there. Michigan started a former walk-on that even the Wolverines fans didn't want to play. ULM, okay. UTSA, whatever. Mississippi State was their top guy had been knocked out. They were playing a freshman in Van Buren. He wasn't really ready for prime time just yet. Oklahoma started a true freshman. First true freshman to start in the Red River rivalry, right? We covered that last week. So who has Texas really played? Well, this week they're going to get all they want in Carson Beck, a senior, a veteran, a guy who's been around the block, and this is arguably the best quarterback Texas may see all year. I'll put it to you like this, folks. If you put it on paper, the University of Texas will not have the best quarterback in this game, okay? Carson Beck gets the matchup edge, in my opinion, against Quinn Ewers. Beck is 18-2 all-time as a starter, 6-2 against top 20 teams. He's averaging 300 yards a game, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That number's pretty phenomenal. We will find out Saturday night with a full house of 100,000 people whether or not this pass defense is legit. I think they might be, but they are going to give up some big plays. There's no question about that. Georgia is too good. Beck is too good. And quite honestly, I saw what happened in the 3rd and 4th quarter against Alabama. You know, Beck was terrible in the first half, just wretched in the first half against the Crimson Tide. 3 interceptions, and then bang, bang, bang. Leads them all the way back. They take the lead. Georgia fans probably feel like they absolutely should have won the game. And then Alabama gets a crazy long touchdown run there on the pirouette from the receiver there, and Alabama wins. But still, Carson Beck really redeemed himself in that game, in my view. This is a big chance for him to redeem himself for all of that. But again, when you're 18-2, I don't know. You've put in some pretty good time. You've put in some pretty good work. Listening to the Horns today, Michael Taft talked about it's about trying to confuse him, trying to figure out how they can attack him. Anthony Hill, the linebacker who just had 11 tackles against Oklahoma, he simply just talked about we got to get there, got to make pressure, got to create the pocket, close the pocket around him, get out there and make it happen. Look, just like any other great quarterback, you cannot let someone like Carson Beck sit back there and pick you apart. Just can't do it. Last time Texas had a big-time stud quarterback come into their house in a game this big, quite honestly, was LSU game. 2019, Joe Burrow, who was on his way to winning the Heisman. LSU was on their way to winning the national title. I don't have to tell you, Texas fans, 3rd and 17, Todd Orlando with a 0 blitz. Everyone brought the house. Throws it over the top, touchdown Tigers, and they go on to win the national title. Orgeron stands on the podium and says, hey, that 3rd and 17 against Texas, that's how we knew we could do it. Well, all right. Well, if you're Georgia, you're in a must-win game this weekend because I think if you're Georgia, you probably feel like one more loss, you're going to be out of the playoff. That's real problematic. Texas has a monster test this week, and I'm very curious to see if they are going to hold up against what is going to be just a phenomenal test. We'll talk more about this in the days ahead coming up. There's plenty more to read on atozsports.com/Longhorns. Texas and Georgia, a big-time game, 6:30 Saturday night. That's all the time I got for now. We'll catch you next time. I'm Brian Davis. We'll see you later.